Hey you guys, it's Host.Promo here. In today's quick video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about Git Stash. A lot of the videos and tutorials out there, they make things so complicated. Let me explain very simply what Git Stash does. It allows you to save your current work while you're doing something else without making a real commit or affecting your repository commit history. And it's super easy to use. I'm going to show you all the Git Stash commands you need to know in this video. If you don't know what Host.Promo is, it's a website I'm working on where you can find the best web hosting promotions in the world. And we have a repository right here I just created. If we type in git log, we just have one initial commit. And we are going to go ahead and make an edit to one of the files. Okay, so we're going to type in hello world, and we're going to go ahead and save that. Now if we run git status, you can see we have a file changed. But maybe my boss just called me and he wants me to work on something else, and I don't want to make a commit yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to git stash this. Okay, now if we type in git status, there is no changes, there's nothing to commit. And if we type in git log, we're still where we were before. However, if we type in git stash list, we can now see our stashes right here. And you can have many different stashes, okay? Now, if we want to see the changes in a stash and compare it to our working directory, we can type in git stash show, and then I'm just going to go ahead and press tab. You don't have to have these backslashes, guys. But for example, if you had another stash, you may want to get that one or that one, but we just have one stash right here. It's under git stash at bracket 0. Now if we hit enter, it's going to show us we've made one file change and one insertion, and that was the hello world we entered. Now if we want to get this git stash back and start working on it again, we can type git stash and then apply. And if you don't put an extra parameter here, for example, you could put stash 0 or whatever stash you're trying to get. If you just put git stash apply, it will just get the most recent stash, guys. Now if we do that, we have our file back. If we look at it, see we have the hello world that we inserted before. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and stash this one more time. Actually, one thing super important about git stash apply, if I type in git stash list, you can still see the stash is still there. However, there's another command where you can get your stash back and delete the stash. Let me go ahead and show you how that works. Since we already have a stash there because we used apply, once I do git stash again, we're going to now have two stashes. If we do git stash show, or list, excuse me, we have two different stashes, okay? But if we use git stash pop, what git stash pop is going to do that's different than git stash apply, it's going to get your git stash back, but it's going to delete that git stash, okay? So now if we type in git stash show or list, we only have one git stash. Before we had two, okay? One more important thing I want to show you guys. I'm going to go ahead and stash this again. Now if we do git stash list, we have two different stashes, okay? If I want to get rid of these stashes, all I have to do is git stash clear. Now if I type in git stash again, there's no stashes, or excuse me, git stash again, list, there's no stashes, okay? So git stash is super easy, and just to explain it in very simple terms, it allows you to save your current work while doing something else without making a real commit or affecting your repository history. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and leave any questions you have down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.